What's up? This is Jake and Kristen with Hike 734, and if you like Glacier's megafauna, they're large animals, I think you're really going to like our trip up to Triple Divide Pass in the Cutbank area of Glacier National Park. So we started over at the Cutbank Trailhead and worked our way, well, all the way up to Triple Divide Pass, and then turned around and came back down. And yeah, beautiful fall day, as we're in September now, and just walking through the big open meadows at the beginning and dropping into the trees and just following up Cutbank Creek. And it's just so pretty as it kind of changes between trees and then some good riparian areas, and then with all the willows, and then goes ahead and goes out to some little meadows. And so yeah, it's just a real pretty walk as we just kind of worked our way. A lot of forest birds, and the trail just after a little bit starts to climb, and we just worked our way through the forest and had some really cool overlooks of Cutbank Creek. And eventually we made our way over to the junction with the trail that heads up over towards Morning Star Lake, and we took a right towards Medicine Grizzly Lake / Triple Divide, and just worked our way up there, and just, you know, more trees and just a lot more climbing at this point. And we take our last trail junction and take a right and head up towards Triple Divide Pass. And this is where the views really start getting great. And we stopped a lot to look down into the avalanche chutes and just see if we could find any moose or anything. Yeah, we as we were looking down there, we saw this brown big animal moving through the woods and saw that it was an elk. So that was a fun way to start things off. And yeah, but just continued up, and eventually Medicine Grizzly Lake came into view with Razor Edge Mountain just towering over the top of it, and just super pretty. And as we just worked our way on up, and yeah, just kept getting more and more open, and we just really love this hike as we gradually get into the red rocks. And yeah, just along that kind of cliffy section, it just has such expansive views of the waterfall going into the lake. And on the big wall there, we spied a couple of mountain goats, so that's always fun. I spied one, and then Kristen spied this other one. And yeah, so just really pretty, and just to tick off another animal is always awesome. And but yeah, eventually we rounded a bunch of corners thinking we were almost there, and then finally got to Triple Divide Pass. And yeah, just the expansive views up here are just killer, and it was super beautiful. And as we looked down into the Hudson Creek drainage with those really cool tarns, I spied 3 bull elk. So I don't know if you can make them out down there, but they were tucked out way down in there, and there was really cool little meadows down there. So that was super fun to see. And so we sat down and we started having lunch, and all of a sudden Kristen goes, "There's a bear." And about 25 yards below us pops up this grizzly's head, and we were like, oh my goodness. And so we hay-bared and let the bear know exactly that we were there, and we started just picking up our stuff, got our bear spray, and it just started moving away. And the bear was displaying no aggressive behavior, and it knew we were there, so we did not continue yelling at it, but just moving out of its way. And then about a minute later, all of a sudden, out pops 2 cubs. So we knew that it was a she, and we continued to move up the ridge just away from the pass there. And it seemed like she wanted to go across the pass. So we just gave him plenty of room and just kind of watched him. And but that was from a distance, and I have my zoom lens. So lots of really cool footage, though, of like her digging around in the rocks and then them following suit, and then she would rub up against a tree, and then they'd go up and rub up against a tree. So it was just really fun to just see what kind of a maternal teacher they are. And but we watched her and her 2 cubs, with one of them being a really white face. It was really cool just to see how light one of them was. But anyways, they went ahead and worked their way down back the way that we came, actually. And so that was super cool. Also, while we were there, we heard some raptor calling, and we looked up above us, and at the top of Triple Divide Peak, there was a cool golden eagle there. And so just saw lots of really fun stuff there. So we just, at that point, once the bears disappeared, we went ahead and finished our lunch. And yeah, just kind of got ourselves back together. And from there, we Gave them ample time and then just started heading back down. And along the way back, we're doing some citizen science work. We're doing some pica surveys. And while we were doing that, I looked down in one of the drainages and I saw a moose. And then I started watching that moose for a second and I saw that it was actually 3 moose. And so there was 3 bull moose there. So that was like just crazy. It just ended up being so many of these different large glacier animals, and super exciting, really fun. Nice day, lots of nice forest birds, raptors, and tons of really cool big animals, all with incredible views. Anyway, this is Jake and Kristen with Hike 734, hiking to Triple Divide Pass in the Cutbank area of Glacier National Park.
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and head on over to hike734.com for more goodness.